welcome to Homegrown Organic Foods. This is our first video here on YouTube, believe it or not. I don't know why it's taken us this long to get over here, but we're here. For those of you who've known us, we've been on Instagram for quite some time, and we're based out of SoCal, and currently we are in 2023 May. We're still in spring, it's about to be summer, and we're still getting crazy weather out there. So it's still raining up until May. So something we're not really quite used to, but we're dealing with it. So now we finally have a chance to be able to get to this project here, now that the weather has been a lot better. Speaking of weather, a quick backstory to this project. So we've been chicken owners for quite some time. I've owned chicken since before when I lived with my parents' house. I started a DIY chicken coop there with some help of friends, and then now that we moved over here a few years ago, when we first moved in, I started off and built a DIY chicken coop myself here. But the problem was I did it all myself, and I underestimated the amount of help that I had out there. When I was living with my parents, I had a bunch of friends that lived in close proximity, were able to come together and help me build that. So that's one of the best things about community and building community, especially around gardening and stuff like that. So having a team of people that can help. We have kids, so it's very hard to split our time here as parents and get things done. So I got the coop done, but it wasn't to the very best of, it's not built very well, is what I'm trying to say. Fortunately, it survived several years, and it survived several years, and it's been able to put up with a lot of the weather conditions up until this year. It's been really, really bad, but aside from the weather, there's the issue of predators. It really has bad protection against predators. The roofing is almost non-existent at this point. Predators can easily get into there, and unfortunately we've had some incidences already where we've lost a big amount of our flock, including our rooster Carl. So that's definitely been a reason why we've started a lot of these projects and just made it a priority to get things done around here already, because it's great to have chickens, but you definitely don't want to wake up to your chickens gone. Long story short, there's an upgrade in process on that side of our chicken coop, our main chicken coop, but at the same time we had the need to add some baby chicks to our flock, to maybe like 1 or 2 is what we're considering adding back to our flock. And that's when we reached out to the company Avituven, who we got the bigger coop upgrade from. So we went into prefab chicken coops. We wanted to check out what prefab chicken coops entailed and what they have, if they're worth it for the price, right? So instead of doing everything myself, I wanted to buy something that was pre-manufactured with the roofing, everything just set to go, drill it together and put it together, right? So I'm not going to get too much into that bigger project that we did, and I'll go ahead and show you guys, give you a review of that in another video. But for today, we're going to be talking about this little guy here. From what I understand, this is one of their smaller coops that is able to fit up to 1 to 2 chickens from what I've seen recommended. I don't know how it would really do when it comes to a full-size chicken. We'll see once it's built, and I'll have a better idea, and I can give you guys a better idea of that. But again, I just want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Avituven. They were kind enough to send this out when we had this need for adding baby chickens, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this together. So one of the great things about Avituven is that they have about 8 warehouses located across the United States. So they are very fast at shipping. We got this actually a few weeks ago. And unfortunately, because of the weather problems that we've been having and situations coming up, we have not had time to get to this, but we are finally here. The moment is here, and we're going to get to this. Before we get started, I just want to mention this is the model number Air02 from Avituven. It's definitely, as I mentioned earlier, one of their smaller lines as far as capacity of chickens that it can hold. This is 1 to 2 chickens. I would recommend definitely 2 at the minimum, because chickens really don't like being alone. So 2 chickens max that you can hold in here. We're gonna go ahead and put this together, see what that looks like, but we do want to introduce some baby chicks, and in order to do that, we need to have them protected while they grow, and we need to have them protected before we even introduce them to the flock, the bigger flock, because they're bullies and they will pick on them. So they definitely will come in handy when we get the baby chicks. So let's go ahead and get started and unbox this. All right, so now we got everything out of the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions. The screws all come nice and labeled, and each bag has like a labeling on it, so you know exactly what screws what, which corresponds, I'm assuming, yep, to the screw setups here. So it tells you use this number screw, this number screw. So it reminds me a little bit of IKEA's kind of setup, a little bit with a little bit more words so far. So a lot of pictures. It's easy to follow so far from what I can tell. So let's just go ahead and get started. Just make sure we got all our pieces here, which I do believe we have all our pieces. The nice thing about this is that each one of the pieces comes pre-marked, so everything, you're not gonna have trouble basically figuring out what is what. You just gotta find where it's at. Here we go. So this is piece D. It was actually right on the top. I didn't even have to turn it. But yeah, so this is piece D that I'll be using later in a bit. Piece C, A, and B right here. So again, everything's labeled, the screws, the pieces. So it looks like this is actually going to be really easy to set up. So I might actually want to time this because I don't think it's going to take very long. Just briefly look at everything ahead of us here. So we got these laid out and set up. We got our screwdriver. Let's get the screws that we're going to need here, and we'll go ahead and follow along with the instructions, and we'll get this built. And time. Well, there it is. That actually was not bad at all. I'm not exactly sure how long that took. I didn't time it myself, but I know it's recording, and we will display the amount of time it took me to set this up by myself. It did not really take much time, if you ask me. I thought it was going to actually take a little bit longer, but I'm really liking this. I like the setup of the roof. Good protection for the baby chicks. So all right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We have multiple accesses to the baby chicks, which is awesome. You got one back there, you got two up here, well, actually three up here. You got the small ones for in the left side, and then for more of the run area, you have one right there, and you have another one here. So you have a total of 5 access points to the baby chicks. So there it is. Thank you once again, Avituven, for sponsoring this video and sponsoring our baby chick hotel setup, basically. So again, the few recommendations I would make is just maybe painting this before putting it together, making sure you have a nice good seal on the wood for any sort of weather, protecting it from any sort of weathering. Another thing I would add is probably some caulking to the holes in which we've drilled, especially here on the roof. There's a couple of gaps here in the roofing. So that's pretty much it. We don't have the baby chicks in yet. Definitely tune in to follow along to see how they do while we're using this. We're definitely going to be posting a lot of updates for this. I know a lot of other people who have reviewed products by Avituven tend to drop off after they do their initial reviews. That definitely won't be happening here. I do want to follow up. I want to give you guys a thorough, like 6 months later, a year later, whatever it may be. I want to give you those updates and let you know how it holds up and how it's doing, and utilization wise, how the features help out and if it's efficient. Definitely look forward to that. So currently this is Avituven Air 002 model is listed for $164.99 on their website. Of course, we will be offering a discount code in the description below. And if you use that code, of course, you're going to be helping us out and you will save yourself 5%. So if you're thinking of picking one of these up, feel free to use that code, save yourself a little bit of money on there. If you're not interested in something small, definitely check out their product list. They have bigger things. Actually, I'm an owner of one of the bigger ones, which we just started using, which we will also be reviewing and giving follow-throughs on that. That one I actually went ahead and painted myself, gave it the extra paint, went the extra steps for that one. Although it's not fully completed yet, it's definitely going to be extra weatherproofed and everything. And we're thinking of doing that with this one as well, but or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll leave it just as is to see kind of if there's a difference in what we did and the efforts we put into weatherproofing the other one. So again, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, you learned a little something. If you're interested in any of their products, they also have catios for pets of all sorts, rabbit hutches, which are a little bit smaller than this, or different formattings, bigger chicken coops. They have all an assortment of different things for your pets and their needs. So again, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you learned something. If there's any questions, anything I left out I might have forgotten about, please feel free to leave a comment and drop your questions below. Very responsive to the comment section, so if you have anything that you feel like you didn't really get information on, or something I can answer, help you out with, feel free. Even if it's just some questions about chickens and owning chickens, if you're a first-time owner, you have a little more questions about the process, and if this is a good start, feel free to leave me a comment and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.